To get this one started, I quickly removed the makeup that I had on from earlier and then flattened down my brows with the glue stick and went over that with a concealer. With a white pencil, I quickly sketched out for myself how I wanted the eye shapes, nose, and mouth to look. And when I was happy with that, I went in with a water-activated face paint in orange and filled around that outline. For this, you don't have to be super precise, and if you go into coloring your outlined areas, that is perfectly fine since you will be going over it with black later on. With an orange shadow from Sugarpill, I mapped out for myself just a few areas I would contour heavier later. This just helped to start building shadow and recessed areas on the face. I then went in with a yellow water-activated face paint and blended that into areas that I wanted to act as high points on the face. With my base down, I used my black face paint to start filling in the eye areas, leaving my actual lids bare since face paint tends to crease on my eyelids. I also completely filled in my nose shape and then also outlined and filled in my mouth area. To start creating the texture lines up and down my face, I went in with a brown face paint on a small detail brush and just pulled up and down away from the blacked out areas. You can either increase or decrease how dark the lines are by either adding more water or just using less, and I found wiggling the brush as you move around helps with that wrinkled-like texture. When I was happy with the brown lines, I started adding black. This helped for areas where I wanted much stronger impact and gives the idea of greater recessed lines. When I went around areas like the mouth, I added an almost C curve to the shape before pulling straight down. This will help suggest the idea of a curved lip area that you can then increase with shadow later on. I did the same for the cheeks. Going back to the yellow face paint from before, I use this color to act as my highlight over areas like around the mouth, the eyes, and on the sides of certain lines to give the illusion of depth. You could also use a white for this step as well. The yellow just gives a little bit more of a warm highlight that meshes a bit better with the orange. In the same way I curved the black lines to hint at recessed areas, you can also use the yellow to pop out high points, such as along the brows. For over the eyes, I like to use a black gel liner and then set it with a matte black eyeshadow. This just helps to prevent creasing and keep the color saturated over a long period of time. Then, with that same black shadow, I better defined the shadowed areas around my face, like along the cheeks, along the brow bone, and around the mouth and eyes. With the face complete, I carried the orange face paint down onto my neck and chest and began repeating the same steps, using the brown paint to lay out the texture lines and following that with the black. I do use larger brush strokes in this area since the neck and chest have more surface area and it can help the lines stand out and be better defined. Here, I just used the yellow more as a strong highlight on the bigger lines and then used my black shadow again to define some contours of my collarbone. For me, this pumpkin look was rather humanoid, so it made sense to define the neck and chest contours, but you can of course create whatever shapes you like. To finish up, I just added some black hairspray, and that was it for my Halloween pumpkin look. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next video.